Well, hello, everybody. Ken Johnson here with you, and we're taking a look at the weather data that's coming in late Tuesday night concerning the potential winter storm across the deep south on Thursday. And if we take a look at the satellite tonight, some high clouds moving into Texas from the southwest. These are not producing snow. I suppose there's some high-level radar returns, but that moisture is not going to be reaching the ground. Here's our developing winter storm out here. It's spinning across Arizona and down into Mexico tonight, back into southern parts of California. You can see the counterclockwise spin with this, and this is going to continue to expand and shift and elongate down into Mexico tonight and into tomorrow. And on the back side of this here, as you see the spin, there's some strong winds out of the north and northeast blowing across California tonight, and there's been extreme wind and fire weather concerns near Los Angeles. I mean, it is a devastating situation out there. Prayers to our friends out there in Southern California. Back to this storm here, we're watching a piece of energy diving south out of Canada tonight. This is going to dive southward, and it's going to team up with this storm down here into the California and into Mexico and the desert southwest to create a bigger storm over the Gulf of Mexico as we head into Thursday and into early Friday. So there it is. It'll track right across an area of low pressure, tracking right across the northwestern Gulf of Mexico, and should track right into Mississippi by Friday. And on the northwest side of this, there's going to be quite a bit of precipitation and should be in the form of a mixed bag of weather. Now, the track like this, your more favorable location for your heavier snow would be over eastern and northeastern Texas, maybe north central Texas. A track a little bit further off to the northwest would push those heavier bands back off to the northwest as well. So as of right now, it looks like there will be a fairly decent area of light to moderate snow back into, maybe even the Texas Panhandle and up into parts of Oklahoma into northwest Texas here. But I still expect the heavier activity to develop down here on the northwest side of this storm system. And that band of heavier snow could set up perhaps from the back edge being near Jacksboro and up towards Bowie, Texas, and then you jump across there into the southern and southeastern parts of Oklahoma. And that might include the Dallas area and kind of down maybe towards Stephenville, Fort Worth. But there's also going to be some sleet in this area too, and that could impact snowfall totals there in the Dallas area. If you wind up getting a lot of sleet mixing in with the snow, it'll bring those totals down quite a bit. So speaking of which, the wintry mix with mostly sleet and some freezing rain, maybe a few snowflakes, Canton down to Waco, Texas here, but again, north and further west you go, the more in the way of predominantly snow you're going to see. And again, that's taking place on Thursday, maybe even getting this started as early as late Wednesday night, but mostly Thursday, and it should shift eastward on Friday. Here's some of the high-resolution future tracker or high-resolution weather data coming in here tonight. And it's going to show late Wednesday, early Thursday. Here comes your first wave of moisture. Now, initially, the atmosphere is going to be dry, and a lot of that will probably evaporate before it reaches the ground here. But as we moisten things up, we could wind up with a pretty decent band of snow that stretches across southern Oklahoma all the way back into the Texas Panhandle. And if we can see a couple of hours of this, and temperature is going to be pretty cold during this time, then we might wind up seeing some snow accumulation across southern Oklahoma and north Texas. Most of it light, but I suppose if there's some pockets of heavier snow, it could perhaps accumulate a little bit more, and that could create some problems on the roadways early on Thursday. So we'll keep an eye on that. But this is going to be your main band, I believe, developing. This is the main storm developing down here. You can see that first little wave kind of fizzles out and shifts off to the north here. And then there's your back edge of the heavier precipitation from about, let's say, Jacksboro near Graham and up into Montague County. You can see heavier snow, southeast Oklahoma, north central, northeast Texas here. Down into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, again, snow or sleet or kind of a mixture of both, maybe even a little freezing rain. Then you get down here into the pink area, Tyler, Waco. This could be some ice, sleet, maybe some freezing rain there. We put this further into motion. You can see those heavier snow areas continue to move north and northeast, and you get back into Texas, and a lot of the snow, or back into northwest Texas, that is, a lot of the snow could begin to taper off maybe by Thursday afternoon. But again, wherever these bands of heavier snow set up, and if you can wind up seeing mostly snow and not sleet, the snowfall amounts could accumulate and could perhaps pile up, and that could really hit hard Dallas and northward. I'll talk more about that in just a moment. Again, by Friday, a lot of that shifts over into the mid-south. So across a good part of the area, at least, there's a potential for light accumulations of snow, dusting, maybe even a couple of inches in some spots. The further east you go, the better chances there will be for heavier snow. And I'm going to include the eastern parts of Texoma, Montague County and Jack County, and perhaps 2 to 4, maybe 5 inches of snow in some of these areas, maybe. But again, the further east you go, Dallas, northeastward, that's where the heaviest amounts are going to be. And some places could exceed 5 inches in some of those areas. Let's put this into motion. This is the European computer model showing snowfall amounts. And again, back to the west, not a whole lot, mostly light amounts couple inches possible, but there's your sweet spot over here, especially southeast Oklahoma, north of Dallas, up towards the Sherman-Denison area, pretty close to Lake Texoma, and then kind of extending along the Red River near Paris, Texas, and Broken Bow, maybe Oklahoma. Could be some pretty significant snowfall amounts over that way. And south of there could be some ice, but it doesn't look like a big ice storm, but there could be some issues maybe south of all that. So this is mostly, as of right now, an inconvenience, a level 1 on my winter weather impact rating, which is basically an inconvenience, maybe a little bit of the way some travel issues here or there. You get east, if you do wind up with a band of heavier snow over this way, moderate impacts, and there could be bigger problems on the roadways over this way here. And then you get to the bigger, major, or more major impacts at a 3, and my scale only goes to 5. 5 would be apocalyptic. 3 is somewhere right there in the middle. It's major impacts, though. Southeast Oklahoma, Dallas, Sherman, Paris, all these areas could be hit pretty significant with this particular storm. Of course, I'm going to keep an eye on it. Where this is Tuesday evening. We're less than 48 hours out. The higher resolution data will continue to come in, and there's going to be some varying looks. But I think overall the forecast is going to wind up being pretty good in regards to how much and the locations and stuff we're looking at, but I will have more information on this on Wednesday. Until then, everybody have a great night. Remember to like and follow and subscribe to my social media pages, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.